an adolescent, couldn't really understand the projection of a father missing, and a mother who would beat down on the children. So she escaped through her music, so she escaped through her artistic influence. She thought being a graph writer was better than being a staff writer, going out solo, pulling all-nighters. She was off that bombing tip, getting her name written all over shit. She learned to pick a market, kill again, killing it, but in a different direction. She thought I need to show the world my perspective. That sometimes the streets holds protection, that sometimes home ain't really home, and what could be considered cold and unwanted could be sanctimonious and bring solace to a child that wasn't supposed to be alive, to a child that wasn't supposed to survive, to a child that now has love to hold on to a child that grew up in the streets and now whom she belongs to. Always athletic, on the court dominant, making good dudes look pathetic. On the streets, he felt like he was a king, and on the streets, all he had to worry about was two things: 3-point shots and his dribbling. At home, daddy was a drunk, mom was a babysitter, didn't give a fuck, but he always had patience. Knew that they both had problems that they weren't facing. They had no idea that he was in a position to choose between UCLA and Stanford. His first year there, his mom was killed on Patterson and Lancer. On his way back home for the funeral, he was all smiles, hugging on his sister Juniper. They asked why he was smiling. Mom's in a better place, no more hurt, no more violence. His dad sober, told his son he was hurt, but that it brought closure. Said he was glad to see him off these streets. He said, "Dad, these are the streets that raised me." It was the 30th of May, his birthday, 25 years on this earth, and 9 years doing dirt, putting shit in his veins in order to maintain a mind frame that could easily say I can't complain. To the world, it was hard to explain that he really, in all honesty, couldn't complain. The way he grew up was fucked up. Uncle Buck doing way too much, and he was never able to get over it. Kept pushing it down, never on that sober shit. On a Tuesday, his worst fear came to life when he found his wife bubbling at the mouth, not alive. And for a second he was gonna go with her, and for a second he was gonna be with her. But now I'ma do better. 6 months to clean up, 2 years to get out of jail, cause he beat up Buck. Came out stronger and alive, came out clean and in good health, with abundance of spiritual wealth. Began giving speeches to reach kids in the high school and colleges, and everywhere he would go, he would tell the story of Rose. And how the streets were the only ones that showed him love. So back to the streets to look at the stars above.